Channel 31 acknowledges Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as the traditional custodians of the land on which these episodes were filmed, the Taunarong peoples, and the traditional custodians of the land on which the Channel 31 studio is based, the Wurundjeri peoples. Hi, I'm Annie Louey, and today on Rediscover Victoria we are going to be visiting Mount Bula, the high country, and we're headed to Lake Eildon. We might be seeing mountains, we'll be seeing creeks, we might even see some islands in the stream. No, we won't actually. Anyway, enjoy! Last time on Rediscover Victoria, we visited the Winton wetlands, checked out Ned Kelly country, rented a bike and rode to Pulpunka, drank some delicious gin, and ended it all with a yurt stay atop a mountain. We got up at the crack of dawn today and are headed towards Mansfield. I'm about to ride through the high country, starting at Sheepyards Flat. Heading up on horseback is the perfect way to get into nature and explore those hard-to-reach places. I met up with Hidden Trails by Horseback owner, Laura Hayes, who drove me to their base camp. Hidden in the bottom of the valley, this is the perfect place to get ready for a trek, and it's about time for me to get my morning coffee and croissant. They have everything here. Hello.
How are you, Annie?
Hi, good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, welcome to the Hackle Valley.
Oh, lovely to be here. I actually can't stop smiling.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm so excited.
So this is going to be your steed for the day. This is the beautiful George.
George.
Yep.
Hey, George. And you match the personality of the horse to the rider.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're looking at the horses, we go on your experience level, but personality comes into it a lot. You know, we know these horses so well and their personalities.
How do you know that George is the one for me today?
Well, I hear that you're a bit of a character.
Yeah, it's true. So George here is going to be a little quirky, perhaps.
Maybe.
Maybe. I can't wait to see what he's like. Finally, it's time to jump on my horse. And always remember, safety first, but very important, fashion. That comes second. Scooting. Yeah. Time to saddle up George, but not before we give him a quick brush.
Would you like to give him a brush?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when we're brushing them, we start up the top. So what we want to do is try and get rid of, if there are any, if there's any mud on him or sticks that could make it uncomfortable while he's getting saddled. So we just start up the top and sort of head down, and there's where the girth sits is underneath, so we brush under there as well. Yep. So if you'd like to give him a brush.
Yeah. Apparently he likes it like this.
You're ready.
I'm sneaking into a 6-day trek. This group are already halfway through a ride over the side of Mount Sterling. I'm only joining them this morning as they ride along the Halkwa River headed towards Craig's Hut. Hidden Trails offers a variety of rides for beginners through to experienced riders, catering for every experience level, including people like me, whose only experience with horses involved riding a small Icelandic pony overseas. Time to take a break and chat with Hidden Trails owner, Christian. Tell me a little bit about what you've created here.
Laura and myself, we started this business 10 years ago. We run here in the Victorian High Country here in Mansfield. We spend the summer months here riding all this beautiful country up here. So that's what we pretty well do. We run everything from short rides right up to 8-day trips, Wanangata, and we travel over into the other side of the valley here, and then occasionally we go over into the Bogons. But yeah, we concentrate on mainly our long rides and our overnight tracks up in the high country.
You had a group come through, they're doing the 6-day trek?
Yeah, 6-day trip, so we're heading up. We'll eventually head over to Craig's Hut and do the Mansfield Snowy River and all that sort of stuff over there.
Iconic from the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of people coming because of that?
Yeah, we get a lot of business from the Mansfield Snowy River, and the first one and the second one. But yeah, the Craig's Hut is a bit of an icon of people to go and look at and see. And
what kind of sights can you see if you're doing the tours?
so we run up the Howker River. We've got probably about 40 odd river crossings between there and 4 or 5 huts to visit today. Old cattlemen's huts and old fishing huts and things like that along the river.
How many horses do you have?
About 100 horses all up between here, and we've got another place in WA that we operate out of. But yeah, we've probably got 80 odd horses here with mares and foals. We've got our own breeding program and things like that.
Wow, that's incredible. And if you're a beginner like me, is it totally fine to come on?
Yeah, we
a horse
take
trip?
beginners, intermediates to experienced riders. So we do everything from saddling up every morning, travelling around, and yeah, teach walk, trot, canter.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Christian.
Cheers.
My ride is over, so Christian and George are off to catch up with the rest of the group, while I head back to camp with Laura.
So Annie, how was your ride?
It was pretty good. I really enjoyed the water. Going through it with the horses was beautiful, and turning the horse in the water made me feel like a super pro horse rider.
Yeah.
But you were correcting some of my techniques. So if you were to seem like a pro, what's the #1 tip for horse riding?
I think the big thing with horse riding is your hands and your feet. So you want that good control of your reins. So your bridle and your reins is your steering and your brakes, basically.
Speaking of good feet, I really like the boots that you've lent me.
Yeah.
I think I might keep them.
Yeah?
And I love the hat as well. It's a real look. Overall, I think it was a super fun experience, and I definitely want to come back and do more of the trails, maybe even the 6-day hike if you have me.
Absolutely. There's no better time to be out here and enjoying Mansfield's high country. It's amazing backyard that the whole of Victoria has to come out and enjoy.
Yeah, and you book really early. Like, you have people booking in a year in advance, so people better get in quick if they want to come and experience Mansfield.
Yep, we get a lot of internationals, interstate travellers as well, so we offer the one-day Craig's Hut rides, which are really popular for Victorians. They can come up and enjoy the high country, have lunch, and do it in one day.
Yeah, well, I reckon it's almost lunchtime, so why don't we go grab a bite to eat?
Yep, sounds fantastic.
Thanks, Laura.
It's been a glorious morning in the Mansfield High Country. Coming up next, we'll be making our way up the top of Mount Bula, finding gnome holes, mountain biking, and checking out the summit. So join me after the break. We're back in the Kombi, and it's an hour's drive north of the Howker River to the base of Mount Bula.
Where are you driving to, Annie?
Mount Bula, haven't been before, never been to the snow. It's not snowing, but we're going to have a good time anyway.
Yeah, we are.
See some gnomes.
I've been told to keep my eyes peeled for some cheeky gnomes along the drive up. Ooh, look, we found one. Oh, what a cutie! Shh.
We've taken a quick stop to check out the gnome tree house. There's even a letterbox, and apparently there's gnomes scattered all across this road. Let's check the mail. 2 Mount Bula gnomes! Adorable. From Lily, all the way from Fairfield in Australia. Amazing. See if we can spot some more on the way.
The drive up the mountain is a windy one. No power steering really gave my arms a workout. We've made it up the top, and now I'm off to meet with Mount Bula and Mount Sterling CEO Mark Bennett.
Hi Mark, thank you so much for agreeing to take me around Mount Bula Resort. You are the CEO of this resort, also Mount Sterling. What is it like to be you here?
Well, you just have a look around you, look at my backyard, look where I get to work every day. You know, I think I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world to have this job.
Oh, amazing. And you get to live here as well during the year?
I do, yes, and you'll be staying next door to me tonight for your first night up here.
Okay, we'll try and keep it quiet, just for you. Tell me about this vista that we have here.
So we've got the spur, the bluff over here, and it runs all the way through, if you went further to my right, down to Lake Eildon with a spectacular perspective. And if you can just see through the trees here is actually what's called Little Bula over there, which is the tail end of one of our most famous runs here.
And in front of us, we've got the start of something really special. What is it?
Well, this is a one-off in Australia, which is the official, as it says, Australian Alpine Epic. So if you're a pretty keen mountain biker, we've got about 100 kilometres of mountain bike trails, 50 kilometres on this particular track that just starts right behind us. So you certainly want to have your carbohydrates before you sort of get loaded up for that.
Yes, and people bring their own bikes. Is there bike rental as well?
Yeah, so lots of people bring their own bikes, and we have a couple of rental outlets. Increasingly, funnily enough, people are going for e-bikes, which I still consider cheating, but then again, I do have gears on my bike as well.
Because we're here in summer, people aren't aware of some of those activities. It's not just the snow. What else have you got other than the mountain biking?
So people tend to think about Mount Bula and Mount Sterling as winter destinations, and they're pretty famous for that, very popular. But this time of the year, it's almost like a hidden secret, so you can't tell anybody about this.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at how green and lush everything is, and it's quite hot here. You need sunscreen and a hat.
Yeah, so we're typically at this time of the year and all the way through summer, probably about 10 degrees cooler than Melbourne and in Mansfield and the like. And so, this coming weekend, I think Melbourne's going to be 37. It'll be a beautiful 25 degrees or so up here. And it's just wonderful. So other than the views, we've got fabulous walks, we've got the mountain bike trails, we've got the road ride. It's a very popular climb, a 15-kilometre climb. Part of getting up into the backcountry where you can do the Seven Peaks ride, for example, including Mount Borbor, Hotham, Falls Creek, and here, Mount Buffalo, and people are pretty serious about doing that.
Yeah, it's one of the most challenging rides in Victoria.
That's right.
Yeah, and with accommodation, where would you recommend to stay? Are you allowed to give us some tips?
So we have around about 8,000 beds in the resort when it's absolutely full and pumping during winter. This time of the year, a lot of them are closed, but there are lodges that you can book. There are hotels, high-end hotels, low-end hotels, and then there's lots of private apartments. So you really get the choice whether you want a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or to book a whole lodge with a group of friends.
And right up here, we're coming up to something that was involved with a few Olympic champions.
That's exactly right. So when we turn around here a little bit further, we actually come to the Chamois Run. It's part of an official Olympic training centre, and we have Olympic athletes who have trained here and honed their skills before they go over and perform on the world stage. So it's the aerial jumping, which is the activity that's been occurring here most, but in the last couple of years we've added to that with a moguls course, so we can actually take the gun Victorian mogul skiers, help them in their journey to becoming world champions.
So what are some of the names that you can drop who have been around here?
Well, we've got a whole bunch of them. All of the world champion and Olympic champion aerialists have been training at Mount Bula. Most recently we've had Lydia Lassala, Jackie Cooper, Elisa Camplin, everybody, and back to Kirsty Marshall of course, who was the first one as well. So they've all been training here at Mount Bula.
What is the appeal of Mount Bula specifically compared to a lot of the other mountain ranges with similar offerings?
Well, I think probably the main thing is our proximity to Melbourne. So Falls Creek is a fabulous resort, Mount Hotham's a fabulous resort, Borbor is closer to Melbourne if you're looking for something which is not quite as steep and aggressive as some of the runs that we've got at the other resorts. So we all have slightly different appeal. But one of the things here, and the reason we have so many people that own property here, is they can come up each weekend during winter, and a lot of people do that. They'll have their apartments and they'll come here weekend after weekend.
I'm pretty keen. I'm not skied before. I've had a bit of a play in the snow overseas, but would a safe place to start be skiing, or how do I work myself up to that?
Yeah, so a lot of people actually start their sort of snow experience perhaps as kids when they're coming up and building a snowman. A lot of fun doing that. Then you can turn into tobogganing and other sort of sliding activities. But from about the age of 4 or 5, really, is when kids will be saying, look, I want to be a boarder, because I've seen Jumpy Pullen, who unfortunately passed away this past summer, or other famous people. I want to be like my heroes, or they want to be a skier. So from about that age of 4 or 5, maybe even a little bit younger, then you can get lessons, you get on wee little short skis, you learn about doing pizzas and all these sorts of things, and away you go.
Oh, so what you're saying is I might have missed the boat, because I'm far older than 4 or 5 years old.
No, you're never too old to start skiing. Never too old.
Are you
boarding.
Are you a bit of a pro yourself?
Oh, I would never go that far, thank you very much. I'm a skier, not a boarder, and I love getting out and about.
This would be a great place for photography as well. Where do you recommend to get some pictures, or the best Instagram
Well,
pics?
you've got to go to the summit. I mean, I think that's true anywhere. So it's a little bit long for us to walk there now, but once you get to the summit, you can see 360 degrees all the way from Falls and Hotham and Buffalo around to Mansfield and down to Eildon, and you can just see the whole vista. It's just fabulous.
With Mark's recommendation fresh in my mind, I knew I needed to get to the summit and just in time for sunset. Wow, would you look at that? Check out these views! Well, we've walked up here. There's a ski lift there. It's not operating. I'm gonna let my heart calm down while we head to a break. It's the end of day 4. We're back at the ski lodge. I know it's summer, but we wanted to put on a nice crackling fire anyway. It is lovely here. This morning we woke up at the yurts and I caught the sunrise. It was beautiful. And then on Mount Bula, we got the sunset here. Something you didn't see in the episode was me being car sick, and I prefer to drive the Kombi because you don't get as sick, and I didn't throw up, so that's a bonus. And I enjoyed the horse riding a lot. I hope I can come back to Mansfield and do that again. It was an incredibly early start this morning, so tomorrow we get a big sleep in before we go kayaking in Lake Eildon. Yay! After a beautiful night's stay at Mount Bula, we're headed west to the quaint town of Eildon. Situated on the southern shoreline of the lake, Eildon Township is built at the base of the dam wall, which spans the Goulburn River. Most famously known for its amazing lake, Lake Eildon is surrounded by picturesque hills and lush vegetation, making it a peaceful holiday location. It is one of the largest artificial lakes in Victoria, boasting over 500 kilometres of coastline. If you're into more lively activities, there's plenty for water enthusiasts, with many marinas and boat ramps in the vicinity. Otherwise, you can check out camping, bushwalking, water skiing, fishing, renting a houseboat, or, you guessed it, I'm about to go kayaking. It's a scorching hot day and I've just picked up a kayak from the Eildon Riverside Holiday Park. We're going to go for a little dip, and I have been kayaking before on the high seas, but I got towed one time. But I'm pretty sure I've got a good feeling. We're going to have an awesome time. Let's go. Let's get our life jackets on because I only know how to doggy paddle. What a way to cap off our first week on this epic road trip through Victoria. We're now on the lake. I'm about to launch off, and this is the exact location where some kayaking championships happened just last week. So let's paddle out like pros. Bye! Next episode on Rediscover Victoria, we'll be travelling to the southeastern part of the state. We'll be getting up close and personal with the cutest little penguins on Phillip Island. We taste the local produce when we visit Bass River Winery and the Kilcunda Ocean View Hotel. Along the way, we'll be taking in the wet and wild Bass Coast. It's been an amazing day. We've done so many activities. We went horseback riding, and now we're on the lake at Eildon. Bonus, I didn't even fall in. It was so much fun. Make sure you stay tuned to Rediscover